Hey friends, it's Patty Radish. Today I'm going to be sharing my stack of unfinished art journals and doing a flip through. So let's get started. So as you can see, there's several types. There's the TN style. There's these smaller ones, which is usually my my go-to, and then I have this larger size here. I'm going to go with the largest first, just to get those out of the way. And this one is this is from a 50s houseplants book that I thought was super pretty. It had these really pretty illustrations in them, and I filled it full of fun stuff. This is like a divider from a vintage cookbook. And so I just threw all kinds of cool homey things into this and thought, oh boy, this sounds like fun, and then got to this page and that was about it. So I did this in kind of a retro vintage look with the same types of colors from this page to try to make a kind of a cohesive page spread. And I really liked how I did this, but having a lot of these plain pages in here is kind of threw me, I think, and that is probably the reason why that is actually the only page that I've done in this journal. So yeah, a lot of work to do in that one. This one's an old encyclopedia of gardening, I think from the 50s or 60s, and I've done a few pages in here, but I think I've done a few. When I did this one, I really liked it. I was trying to just do some experimenting with journal spots and that kind of thing, and some of my vintage ephemera and color, trying to do a color story there. But then again, like the last one, I believe that was the only page I did. So again, another opportunity. This one I did a few pages in, not liking the vibe. I kind of went to the kitschy side of things with this, and I just wasn't finding my mojo. And yeah, so there's only a few pages done in here. I started that one not knowing where it was going to go, and truth be told, it didn't go any farther than this. So I don't know what's going to happen with this one. I'm not sure why I'm even bothering to share a journal that I'm probably not going to be working in at all anymore. So that's how that story on that one is. I don't know. I'll leave this one for the very end maybe and see if I become inspired in some way. So here's the kind of next largest size. I really like this journal. The size, I don't know, I struggle with these larger papers. I struggle with these larger size pages. So, as you can see, I just really struggled at finding enough stuff to fill the page. I don't know if I'm not going big enough or, on the images or what, but, yeah, this one was kind of a struggle. I kind of like these pages a little bit, but as you can see, my inspiration kind of started to wane there after a while. I do like using these larger phrase stickers that I print up on my printer, but other than that, I'm still, like I said, it's still kind of a struggle, so we'll see about that one. This one is one I've had for quite a while. I've enjoyed working in it. It's a little on the kitschy side with a little bit of, Asian influence in it. It was fun, but it was one that I worked on a long time ago, and I think that my techniques have improved a bit over the years, so this one kind of just stayed put. But I think I might enjoy getting back into this one. I think that this one was a lot of memories. I had some memories of Happy Mail and that kind of thing, things that people were kind enough to send me through the mail, so I think that's what this one basically was. So still got a lot of work to do on this one. All right. And this one is one I actually really enjoy. I like this one. This one's a nice size. I like this size because it's wide enough and it's small enough where when I can even use larger pieces in here, and it seems to work. So I might use this. I love this little mouse under here. I'm thinking I might color that in with colored pencils or something. And this is from a vintage botanical book, and then a bird and a butterfly and a stamp. So this is one that I've been working. This one I think might only be a couple of years old, but I think that my technique is improving as I progress. I mean, I've been art journaling for a long time, but I'm still making improvements in many ways, I think. So this one's flora and fauna and, you know, botanicals and all that kind of stuff, but I still have quite a bit left to do. So now this stack is kind of my favorite stack, just because of the size. So Nancy Drew, I used to sell a lot of these in my shop. It's hard to find these books anymore, so that's kind of something that I'm not able to provide like I used to. But this was a list journal, you know, 30 days of lists, that kind of thing. And I'm just not a big fan of making lists. So I tore it all apart and got rid of, you know, the lists. I didn't have a lot of lists in here. I just would rather have a place to play and have fun and play with color and composition and just whatever kind of inspires me at the time. And I love large bugs and large birds, and then things that usually are big being smaller. I like the whole kind of an imaginary world kind of thing that I do sometimes in my pages. So those are all blank. I don't think I have anything in the middle here. No, let's see. Yeah. So, and I think that I kind of scooted onto the back of this and started, and here's some journaling. Little journaling card with a cute little pig. Oh, look at him. Isn't he cute? Little fat pig. But yeah, little journal spot. And I like to do this. I like to tuck flowers down into the pocket so it looks like they're kind of growing out of it. That's kind of fun. So that's one of my favorite things to do. Oh, here, I'll just throw those over there. Yeah, so I'm kind of pleased with the way this one turned out. I'm kind of looking forward to getting back in here and getting that one finished up. And here's another small one. This is one of my favorites. This is really the style that I love the most. Kind of a little distressed, kind of vintage, but still with a bit of color. Having fun with stamps, kitschy images, with a little bit of color. You know, not too much, just enough. A little bit of journaling. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one. See, this is what they look like when I tear up a list journal. They look like that, with a lot of empty spots. But then again, you just find an image, you throw it on there. I've already done half the work, you know. I just don't like lists. That's just me. Okay, so this is the last. Oh no, this isn't the last one. I still have to do the TNs. But this is my last bound journal. This is the journal. This is the type of journals that I usually work in. What I'm hoping to do is go to the TNs that don't have the binding. You know, the TNs that come out this big. You know, the wider version. So, but this is a picture of our old house. Well, old house. It was only a year and a half ago that we moved away from it, but I snapped a few pictures before we left. And this is not a favorite. I actually might redo that, because every time I look at it I'm like, ooh. But yeah, some of these pages are super cute. That's not my old house. That's somebody else's old house. That's kind of almost what ours looks like now without, yeah. We bought a older home. So this one is, yeah, I think this one could use some help. I really like the way this turned out, but this is not doing me. But I like this little picture, so I'll probably just leave that. I don't like to tear up too much. This, I wanted to leave some journaling area right here. Never did get around to journaling, but I feel like it could use something coming up here onto the, this is some vintage wallpaper. So yeah, there's quite a few opportunities in here. So, and here's the original library pocket with the card. It's the latest date on that one. 1944. 1944. That's an old card. Goodness. That's pretty cool. That's why sometimes I like these journals so much. They actually have a little bit of history tucked into them. Okay, so these are I've got 4 TNs that have been started and not finished. And this one is kind of the quote journal TN cover configuration. So This was a gift of some Happy Mail. I thought that was pretty nice. Oh, I guess I didn't do that one, but must not have felt inspired. So just some quote cards and some decoration. Just a way to use up some of those bits and pieces. You know, a lot of these, like this was from a Vicky Bouton ephemera pack, and then this one right here was from a 12 by 12 page of ephemera. And I just don't want to, I just think it's so pretty, I don't want to throw it away, but what do you do with quote cards other than sometimes people put them in their week in a life, you know, their project life or whatever, but I don't do a lot of that. So I do project life, but I don't put those quote cards in. So I've got to find a place for them. And I think this might have been a redone list journal. I'm not sure. But yeah. But I'm liking it. I'm looking forward to getting in there and finishing it up. Some of these don't have any tissue paper on them in the back yet, so I'm thinking, you know, I might do a video on how I do that, how I do my, how I prep my pages. So, but this is just gesso, stamping with some bubble wrap, and then taking a jar with another color and plunking it around on there, and then putting a bit of tissue paper just for some color and interest. And then you've got, and then you just put the ephemera, a doily, and you know, a little bit of pencil, and you've got a page done. A little bit of washi. So yeah. Here's another one that I really liked, and it's just using up ephemera. You know, you buy ephemera packs, and you're just not, you know, you get inspired, and then you end up with a lot, and so it's a great way to use some of it up. Pieces of paper, some ephemera pieces, a circle. You know, I like to do some. I'd like to keep things square and round, and kind of weave them in together. Gives the page interest, and it's fun. That's why we do this, right? It's fun. This was a from an ephemera pack, and I just cut it right down the middle and stuck it back behind there. I thought that was kind of fun. So, just a fun way of practicing and getting better. Like I said, my techniques are improving with time and experience. They don't always hit the mark. Like this page is, it's kind of cute, but it's kind of, yeah, there's a few things. It's got a few issues there. But this is just a journal that's just that I think I stapled. Yeah, I stapled together just colored cardstock. That's all it is. And then I kind of went over it. See, yeah, it was a list journal. And I just went over the cardstock with white gesso. And then after, you know, then I'll, like I said, I'll put tissue on it or paint scrape or something. So that's that one. And then this one is just some journals, regular journals that this was going to be a devotional, and it just kind of didn't, I just wasn't as enthusiastic about finishing the project as I thought I would be. And so now I have a half-done journal. Like I said, this is just colored cardstock, stamped with a bubble wrap, and then I'll probably go over it with paint scrapes or circles or just maybe some tissue just to give it some interest, just so it's easier to kind of get in there. And I like to prep my pages. It seems to work for me. And this is another journal that I did kind of a natural flora, fauna kind of look to it with the birds and the insects and flowers and such. I believe that is a sticker that I printed on vellum. I mean, sticker paper. Super easy. But this was the page that had her on it, and so I decided to color her in and then add some pieces to it. It came out okay. I like this one. I love these big bugs. I see a big bug and it just thrills me. This was something from a vintage book on trees or something. I'm not sure. I think that's what it was. And so I just cut all of that out and then put it on there and added a butterfly. I mean, there's a little bit more to it than that, but still. I like the way this one turned out. And then this too. This is from a vintage botanical book. And just a tag that I make. See, in my journals, I make painted pages. And so I'll have, after I cut them up to go into the journals, I'll have pieces left and I'll make tags out of them. And that's what that is. So I try not to throw anything away because I might be able to use it, but that also gets me into a lot of trouble because then I've got a lot of stuff. So that one's kind of a I thought that looked like a picnic page spread. There we go. And then we're done. And then now we have the other half of this that needs to be done. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. So these are actually the journals that I'm going to be working on over the next few weeks or months, however long it takes me to get them done, or whether or not, you know, I'm going to keep them, that sort of thing. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos of me working on these journals, please subscribe to my channel and have a great day. Bye-bye.